and this is a good example of it. Like they're trading with other cultures, and they're kind of hearing what they worship, seeing what they worship,
right,
bringing it back. I mean, like these people over here worship this, they believe this. You're like, oh, that's really interesting.
Yeah, these guys got a whale.
Yeah,
He's got a fish. We got a stupid trout.
You see this like giant serpent. It's a whale. Serpents are stupid. It's a whale. You're like, oh yeah, it makes more sense. Ours is bigger.
Right. We're the biggest whale.
Yeah, there's nothing big. Literally nothing can be bigger than ours. Yep. That's like where you're like, okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Mysterious Pals. In the season of sea monsters.
What a summer it's been.
Oh, it's the summer of sea monsters, not the season of sea monsters. Like I said in the last episode, it's summer of sea monsters back here again for the last episode. Before we go into that, I want to introduce a real kappa in my life.
That's
Jordan, welcome to the show.
I think is that insulting? I don't know, man.
If you don't know what a kappa is, listen to the last episode.
Yeah, go back and listen.
And you'll know what I'm talking about. A benevolent and malevolent.
There you go. You know what that means now.
Yeah.
Good and the bad.
And that's what you're here for.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
How was your week? How you doing? What's going on?
Week was good. For those 3 people that are watching, I'm wearing a very appropriate themed shirt, button up shirt. We got. Is
that the characters from
A
Nightmare Before Christmas?
Yes, but they're out at sea, which is
on the beach.
Yeah,
they're all like having a beach vacation.
Yeah, Jack Skellington's surfing on a coffin.
The hell would you get something like that?
I like it though.
And I understand you put your buttons up on a certain way that I was very confused about.
I leave it buttoned when I hang it up. When I take it out, I just put it over my head like a t-shirt.
You know, I don't know if you remember this. Many episodes ago, in a short we did.
Sure.
TikTok, if you will.
About how I take a shirt on and off, yeah.
Yeah, how you're confused about taking shirts on and off. Maybe this is part of the problem. We may have found the roots. You just don't know how to put shirts on. If you're pulling your buttons up over your head like a t-shirt,
yeah.
How are you putting your pants on? Do you put them like over your head down?
I put them over my head down, yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
So I like leaving the buttons on because leaving a button when I hang it up.
You're like an action star.
It stays more crisp.
Okay.
You don't want to iron or anything or steam it.
I never iron anything.
This doesn't look very...
It's probably a no iron. You don't have to iron those type of shirts.
I don't know. Is that right?
It's not like a dress shirt.
I'm not good with that stuff.
No, I don't. None of my like dress shirts I have to wear for work are ever ironed.
What about like if you have to wear...
If I have to go to a funeral, I probably have to iron something, but I'm not doing it.
So do you leave all your button-up shirts no matter what they are unbuttoned?
Yeah. I button up when I get dressed.
No, I'm more like they'll get like wrinkled up because my closet's very smushed with a bunch of shirts.
Mine are too.
I feel like if
there's no wrinkle though.
If they're unbuttoned, they'll get like smushed around, not keep together. Does that make sense?
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
I mean, you could throw them in what I do is I throw it in the
dryer.
Give it a 1-2 in the dryer.
1-2
comes out, Scooby-Doo. I'm out the door.
If it's like a really nice button up, and I don't feel like ironing, I'll just put it in the shower with me. Like I won't wear it in the shower. I just wear it in the shower and wash it. That's how I clean it. That's how I get it nice and straight. Leave it on.
Look, it's well documented. I have no idea how to do laundry, but I know you don't put them in the shower.
No. What I'll do is I'll hang it on the outside of the shower on a hanger. Close the door, but let it steam up. To kind of release those wrinkles.
You're just wasting hot water.
I'll be in the shower. I'll be in the shower.
You're in the shower too.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're just killing 2 birds with 1 stone.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. That's a nice efficient time of your usage. Usage of your efficient time. I don't know. Anyway,
whatever that's saying.
Yeah, however they say it these days. These kids and your time usage.
Right, what do you got?
Well, I want to tell you that I watched a television show, they call them, and do you ever watch okay, I'm gonna watch this series. You watch like the first 2 episodes, you're like, I'm good.
Sure, yeah.
And then but then it creeps in like, what happens? What happens?
Want to go back and like figure out what happens?
But you don't really want to know you don't really want to go through the hell of trying to figure it out by watching everything. But you want to know what the main story arc is about. You ever do that? And then just like look it up.
Oh yeah, just look it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I know I've definitely done it. Nothing's coming to mind right now, but I know for a fact I've done that.
So I did that with a recent show. I'm not gonna bring the show up because people be like, "Oh, he doesn't like that show. What an idiot."
Well, what we gotta know? I gotta know. What's it? Is it what kind of show is it?
The show.
We're talking like fantasy, like comedy, like what, like historical fiction.
It's a show.
Is it a recent show?
Sure.
This is the most vague thing.
No, it's one of those shows people are like, you gotta watch. It's the Saul show.
Better Call Saul.
Better Call Saul.
Right.
Don't care. Don't want to watch it. Don't care. It's documented. I watched Breaking Bad.
So yeah,
I did my due diligence.
So is the only reason why you want to watch is because you watch Breaking Bad?
Because people say I have to watch it. How great it is.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right.
I think
it's the summer. I got a lot going on.
Yeah, I think that show. I haven't watched any of it either, but I think it had more seasons than Breaking Bad did.
Oh, even worse. Breaking Bad was one season too long. I think the last season sucked.
Okay.
I like this. I like the season right before it ended, like that season prior. But anyway, I didn't watch it. And I was like, I watched second episode. I'm like, nah, I'm good. This seems dumb.
Are they hour long episodes?
Yeah, like 40 minutes, like TV hour
yeah,
long.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm good. So, kick that right out the door.
Did you end up looking up what happened?
Yeah. I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I didn't stick by.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Couldn't care less.
Because it's supposed to lead up into Breaking Bad, right?
I don't.
Is that what it's supposed to?
I don't think so. I didn't pay attention very much. I saw what happened. I'm like, no, I'm good.
So you didn't pay attention. You're just like, I'm done.
Yeah.
All right.
I like read it. I'm like, is it something, like something monumental that everybody makes it out to be? It's so amazing. Yeah. To each their own.
Sure. Yeah.
Whatever. Same crap, different toilet, right?
Yeah.
That's what they say. I don't know who, but.
I remember the first time I heard that saying was at college. And I was walking from campus to one of the houses that we lived in. And some guy was just sitting outside a bar. I think he was talking. I don't know if he was talking to me or someone I was with, or maybe he was talking to someone else. Like, hey, how's it going? And he's just like, same crap, different toilet. And I'm like, that's great.
Yeah.
That's a great saying.
Well, and here we are. That's
he's
how we had the show.
Dead. That guy was old. Anyways.
Yeah. He's probably still kicking it. All right. Well, this week, the last summer of sea monsters, we're here to talk about yet another sea monster. Although this sea monster, quote, quote, may be more of a sea god.
Oh.
But we'll talk about it. We'll get into it. But I want to say here, I want to get your vision. I want to put you to vision, get a vision in your head. Okay. So.
You can Inception me?
What's that?
It's a Leo movie.
Oh, really?
I guess you haven't seen it.
He has more than like two?
Yeah.
I just watched the one on repeat.
Christopher Nolan movie where like they put people to sleep to like go inside their head to like put thoughts in their head or like.
That's Transcendence. We talked about that in one of the recent episodes. With Johnny Depp.
Did we talk?
Yeah.
We did, yeah.
Yeah.
They're incepting.
They're transcending. It's what Johnny Depp movie. Yeah.
All right.
I don't know.
It is a movie though, Inception.
I'll believe you.
Great.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it's real good.
Okay. Seems like a lot.
Okay.
So we're gonna talk about
Oh yeah, you're gonna incept me. All right, here we go. Give me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Let's get back to that. Until you rudely interrupted me with some movie garbage. Christopher Nolan made it. It's got the
I'm not saying that.
Yeah, you have to love it because it's Christopher Nolan.
I'm just saying I'm surprised you haven't seen it because Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh yeah. Cute little boy. The other Christopher Nolan movie that came out, like the most recent one. It was like over the pandemic. It came out. Everybody was
over the pandemic.
Yeah, what the heck was it called?
No, this one just came out. The most recent one's the. Oh my gosh, Atomic bomb.
Oh,
guy.
yeah. Okay, not that guy.
Tenet.
Yes. The hell was that about?
I watched it. I couldn't tell you, man. I was not. I don't think I was that big of a fan of it.
Yeah. Is that one of those ones where he's pulling a cap on his own butt?
What?
Smelling his own farts?
This might be a hot take too. I wasn't that big of I liked it, but like people love Dunkirk, which he did. It was about like these like World War II, and I was like, it was fine.
It seemed interesting, but I saw like how long it was, and I'm like, I'm good. I said I'd like to watch it someday, but I don't want to watch it.
If you're gonna watch any of them, do watch Inception. It is.
I don't want to watch it because it's Christopher Nolan. I want to watch.
Well, I'm not. That's
I want to watch it because it's about World War II.
I'm not saying all the movies he does are good. That's what I'm saying.
I know you're saying that.
No, I didn't think Tenet was that great.
What's it about?
Tenet?
Yeah.
It's like it goes like time, like going through time. Like I guess these people can go back through time, like change time.
Yeah, I'm
already Dunkirk's World War II. But I'm saying Inception, actually did like that one, and that's when he did.
I'd like to see that Oppenheimer one.
That's really, it's good. Yeah.
I like World War II stuff.
It's super long, and I think that guy's a fascinating character. It's because like he created this thing, and he's like, well, I kind of regret it, but kind of don't.
And then he died.
The historical part of it, I liked.
Yeah.
And then he died.
As we all do.
Yeah.
I mean, he invented the atom bomb. We invented this podcast. so
thank you.
We're the same. We know where he's coming from.
Yeah.
Inventing something, putting it on humanity. Yeah, we got it. Yeah, we were the same level. Him and I. And us. All right. Anyway, let's Inception this right up here. Okay, so think about this. Zoom out. Like pull. What is that one movie where Christopher Nolan goes? What's that one movie with Christopher Nolan where like he goes like, they go to others. Interstellar. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Interstellar. What?
Have you seen that movie? That one?
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
So Interstellar. This. Okay.
Yes.
Zoom out from the Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I'm looking at the Earth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now zoom out even further.
Yeah.
Zoom all the way out. Keep going. Okay.
Yeah.
And you see a fish. Okay.
Fish.
Shh. Not done.
Just you shut your.
The giant fish. Okay.
That'd be terrifying.
A fish so immense. A fish so immense that all the seas of the world are placed in one of the fish's nostrils. That would be like a mustard seed laid in a desert.
Wait, so okay.
Yeah. Keep zooming out. Okay. Above this fish stands a bowl.
Yeah.
And on the bowl,
But you're talking about like a dish bowl or like a
real
animal,
bowl, an animal bowl.
Okay.
And on the bowl, a bovine. I don't know what that means. On the bowl, a ruby rock. On that rock, an angel. And on that angel,
what? Sorry. Okay, good.
Okay, so go back. Okay, zoom back out. Okay. So we have a giant fish.
Mhm.
Okay. And on that fish stands a bowl.
Mhm.
Okay. On that bowl is a ruby rock. On that rock is an angel. And on that angel, the angel's holding up the earth.
Okay. So I was going to ask: is the fish? Is the earth and the fish? Okay, but right, yeah.
So the fish holding a bowl, who's holding a rock, which is a ruby, which is holding an angel,
Holding earth.
Yes, that is what we call a vision or a vision. Okay, we'll say a medieval Islamic cosmology vision of the universe.
Okay. This is Islamic?
This is pre-Islamic.
Pre-Islamic. Okay.
Pre-Islamic Arabia.
Okay. All right.
Arabian cosmology.
Okay.
And some of this and we'll go into a little bit about this, about how some of this mythology, this folklore was taken into like the Islamic
Yeah, I was gonna say,
part of Arabia.
I remember hearing this in Islamic. What does the angel look like? Like the weird ones? Have you ever seen? I think we talked about this where like
what?
Where they show, at least as far as like Judeo-Christian angels look like. Have you ever seen that, of like what they actually look like? They're like a massive like eye and like things are spinning around them, or is this like a humanoid looking angel?
From what I understand, it's a humanoid angel.
Okay. All right.
In some visions, it's different because a lot of this is I'm bringing this from retellings of Western people retelling this ancient folklore, medieval. They call it medieval Islamic Arabia cosmology. It's kind of and so there's only a couple like well-known ones. The one that we're specifically taking this from, his name was Edward William Lane from 1883, and he wrote a book called Arabian Society in the Middle Ages: Studies from the 1001 Nights. Or the idea of Arabian Nights. There's a story. Okay, so the bull we're talking about, we're not going to talk about the bull, but the bull is Kujata, and I just want to bring up this bull because it is the way they describe it is that the bull is said to have 40,000 horns and legs, as many eyes, ears, and mouths and tongues as horns and legs.
Why?
Hey, I don't know. The breathing of Kujata, the bull, controls the tides of the ocean. Okay. And that is the bull. And we know a sea monster. A bull is not a sea monster.
No, it is not.
No. We're going to be talking about Bahamut.
Which one is that?
That is the fish.
That's the fish.
Okay. The fish that the bull is standing on.
Okay.
And
I'm assuming this is the biggest thing out of all those things that are stacked on top of it.
Yes. Bahamut is a mythological sea creature rooted in ancient Arabian folklore, which was then later integrated into Islamic mythology. So this is pre-Islam. And when we're talking about this type of stuff, especially when it gets into the religious implications of
be careful.
sea monsters, we don't want to be. We want to tell it like we don't want to make fun of it, but we're also saying what we found in the research. So it's not like we're trying to make fun of it, and it's not like we're trying to cause issues with religious views. We're just reporting it like it is. It like it is.
Yes.
So I'm not saying this exists or doesn't exist, but this is just a view of what's told. But I think it's awesome because it's a sea monster.
Sure. I mean, that's why we're doing this.
Right. And this is, in some ways, some cultures, some beliefs, this is the biggest sea monster.
I mean, I would assume so, considering it's,
apparently can hold all the oceans in one nostril. What it says.
Of Earth or everywhere? I would assume everywhere, right? If it's
that's if you have a view of the Earth, of the universe having multiple places,
right?
Like I think the view of Earth at this time was there's just Earth.
Yeah, it's the fish, bull, ruby rock, angel, and the angels holding the Earth. Is that right? Okay.
Yeah. So that would be the vision of it. The kind of thoughts is the belief is that there's only the Earth. It's like, what is that called? The heliocentric, or no? Was it Earth-centric?
Oh, they're saying, this is saying there's only just the Earth, and that's
from what I understand.
Okay.
I don't really know if they believe more of like there's other planets out there, because I think that's something that's still ways off in this. So this was from, let's just take a quick jump here real quick. This is pre-Islamic Arabian mythology, which the rise of Islam happened in 610 CE. In the 7th century.
Yep.
This would be before that, whenever this is being written.
Is this collective thing that's out in space, is this known as something? Like
the collective belief?
No, those four things together, is that called something?
Hey, that's a great question. I believe like what they call that whole gathering.
Yeah, like the mass of whatever that is.
Well, there's other versions of it too, because there's one like I believe from like Turkish mythology, like from Turkey, with Turkish mythology, that it's there's no ruby, it's just the angel,
Okay.
holding the earth. In one conception of the world, the earth is shouldered by an angel who stands on a slab of gemstone, which is supported by a cosmic beast, which is the ox, which has multiple names. And then Bahamut is carrying a bull on its back and suspended in water of its own stability. So there is a lot of different things.
Interpretations and variations.
Correct. And it's also, as we'll get into, there's also kind of connections to other things from the Bible, from biblical stories too, and like how they connect. And we'll talk about that. But there is like the way that this kind of thought of this giant fish kind of connects.
Okay.
And I know you're like thinking like sea creature, this is supposed to be sea monsters. Yes, this is the sea. It's like that type of thing.
Mm.
This does have story. Don't turn us off yet. There are stories about it in the ocean or, that type of stuff.
In space, it's kind of the same thing. You're weightless.
Yeah.
Going around out there.
We'll get into it. But in the sense that we're going to talk a little bit about where it comes from, but that is a monster. Technically, it's a thing that could be in the oceans or maybe the ocean itself. So Bahamut, the Arabian Bahamut, not to be confused with Behemoth. Different. Behemoth is different. We're going to talk about that too. Bahamut is a mythological sea creature rooted in ancient Arabian folklore, as I said. It was later integrated in Islamic mythology. It's often depicted as an enormous fish or whale supporting a vast structure that represents the Earth's foundation. The foundation of the Earth. So it's more of a concept of like, in some of the visions I saw, like the kind of interpretations of this, that kind of, when you zoom out, it's not so much that it's like they're holding the planet of the Earth, it's holding the Earth. As more of a concept of like almost not a flat thing, but like maybe a flat thing. Think of it that way. It's like holding up the Earth as a concept, maybe, or like as a, because it can, some of these interpretations, the fish is the ocean,
okay,
which is something you can go to.
Yeah, and
the bull being part of the, holding up the Earth as the tides and the solidness of it. So yeah, that's what's it's a little confusing. But again, this is coming from a different kind of, this is not from the West, although our thinking from our Judeo-Christian views of how the Earth is formed and how our views of science have changed our interpretations of the world. But this is from something ancient.
Right.
And also not really well documented because there's so many different offshoots of it. Like, and we'll go into this a little bit about how this part of the world was set up at this time. That's why it's not so easy to like get into it. Like, it's not get into it, but like get into like explaining it simply.
Sure, yeah. Geocentric.
Thank you. Bahamut's significance lies in the symbolic representation of unknown depths of the sea and the mysteries of the universe. In this Islamic cosmology and the pre-Islamic mythology, Bahamut serves as a foundation pillar in the world's structure, emphasizing the interconnectedness of all creations. Like I was trying to explain, like this is kind of hard to concept from our background as like in our side of the world and from our culture. But this idea of like, they are not thinking of the world as a planet. It's just the world, the Earth, like not as a ball in space. The land is placed on the angel's shoulders. Like we have that vision of Atlas from Western culture.
Yeah.
It's not like that. That's why it's hard to like kind of picture this. That it's like, and maybe I could put a picture up.
Well, even with the Atlas thing, I was like, so where is he standing?
Right.
Is he just floating out in space holding up the Earth?
I had
a hard time wrapping my head around that.
I think in general, that's just a fascinating concept of what's outside of the universe. Like, what is that? Our lifetime will never know what's outside of the universe. Like, what is the universe expanding into? That. There's a lot of theories about it, but like, physicists are always trying to figure that type of stuff out. But like, what is the Earth, the universe, our universe that we know of expanding into? Are we just an atom?
That thing seems like in the grand scheme of things, that's possible.
Right, because when you break up an atom, there's a bunch of quarks and stuff in there.
Yeah.
Are those other universes? Are those solar systems? Are those that type of thing?
It terrifies me to think that like that's an answer we'll never
ever
personally know.
No, there's no way.
It sucks.
Maybe when we're floating out there like, hey,
there's a fish.
Yeah, look at that. Hey. What's up?
What you doing, buddy?
Bahamut.
What you doing out there, man?
How's it flowing? Oh, the kappa. Okay. So look, I was going to show you that. Like, this is the concept, like that image, and I'll put it on the screen right now. I'm showing Jordan. This concept of it's just land. It's not the planet. Land.
Yeah, I don't like
underneath the land. It's being held up by
Right.
the angel. It's not like the earth is being held. It's the land
yeah,
they're standing on.
it's a very abstract.
Right.
I'm having a hard time.
But then
with
if
that.
you like if you do think about it, like, okay, so like they didn't have this concept of a planet,
right,
of space.
yeah, right,
They had a concept of the earth the land is being held up because you drop something, a rock, it's the earth. So who's holding up the earth underneath our feet? I think that's where the concept, and that's my interpretation of it. Could be wrong, and I'm sorry. Again, this creature is not just a mythical entity, but a profound symbol of the natural world's unfathomable aspects to humans. Just like I was going over, like something holding up the planet or holding up the land.
Right.
It's not a planet at this point, from what they understand in some cases. Okay, so this Bahamut has roots in pre-Islamic Arabian or Arab folklore. And this is when we talk about this, we're talking back in like Mesopotamia.
Okay.
Like back in that era, whenever I think they had like
Babylon was a big part of that.
Right.
It was like that Babylon at one point became like the center of Mesopotamia.
Okay. And there's another place called Perse, Perse.
Okay.
So this is like all that area around in the Middle East, which we know is the Middle East today, from that time, but before the rise of Islam.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the concept of Bahamut originates from the pre-Islamic Arab folklore, as I said, where tales of gigantic sea creatures were common. These stories often depicted immense beings dwelling in the ocean depths, embodying fears and mysteries of the sea. Again, a common theme we're seeing with all these summers of the sea monsters is fear of the ocean. And
a lot of these monsters out there, I'm sure you've saw too, when we're like trying to find something to do. Like there's a lot of cross-cultural assimilation.
Yeah.
Like a lot of them are very similar.
They're sharing a lot of the stories. Yeah. And later, not the Summer of Sea Monsters, but eventually I'd like to do an episode on sea serpents, because like every culture has sea serpents.
And a lot of them are very similar.
And they're very same. Yeah, they're all like the same.
Yeah.
And it's crazy how they all it's like when we talk about the mermaids, how every culture has a mermaid.
Right, yeah, that's right.
So pre-Islamic Arabian mythology is rich tapestry of belief, stories, deities that reflect the diverse, complex culture of the Arabian Peninsula at this time. Before the rise of Islam in 7th century, this was this kind of tapestry or patchwork of beliefs brought together all these different tribes of people.
Mm-hmm.
And so there was, kind of a, what they call it, a polyistic organization of, but because there's so many different tribes, there wasn't kind of a common unifying.
Like a unified religion kind of thing? Okay.
And they all kind of were amalgamations of each other's deities. So with the advent of Islam, many pre-existing Arabian myths were integrated into Islamic cosmology. Bahamut is one such creature that found a place in Islamic traditions. Islamic scholars and texts such as the Book of Ascension describe Bahamut as a part of a complex cosmological structure. Here in this reading, Bahamut is often depicted supporting a bull named Kujata, which I said, which in turn supports a ruby mountain that holds the angel that holds the earth.
Yep.
Bahamut shares similarities with other mythological sea creatures, such as Leviathan from the Judeo-Christian traditions and Jormungandr from Norse mythology. The
sea
world
serpent.
World
serpent.
serpent. So that's kind of like, again, the sea serpents are everywhere.
Yeah.
But apparently, Bahamut is also kind of shares that. Again, his assimilation between cultures. Like Bahamut, these creatures are often associated with immense size and power, symbolizing the unknown and often chaotic nature of the ocean. So let's go into what the physical appearance of Bahamut might be.
Yeah. Is it just like a trout?
Fish are so boring.
Most
fish.
Some of them are, yeah.
We're talking about like fish.
Yeah.
Not like octopus. Octopi.
Right, yeah.
Squids.
There are some weird looking fish out there.
Really?
Yeah, again, there's like there's a couple weird fish out there.
I'm sure there is. Sounds like there's lots of them. Am I right, everybody out there? Am I right?
When we drain the ocean, we'll find all of them.
And step on them, like, crush this one, crush this one, crush this one.
You're cool. I'll keep you.
Yeah. A whale? I'm going to live in you. Yeah. All right. Bahamut is typically described as an enormous fish or whale. Description emphasizes its colossal size, often portraying it so vast that it is beyond human comprehension. Like I said, we got to zoom out.
Yeah, I would assume so, yeah.
Yeah. Bahamut's size is one of the most striking features. It's often said to be so large that even looking at its entire body would be impossible for a human. In some narratives, it describes so immense that the entire ocean rests upon its back. Which, again, if you think about, like, we're talking about, like, oh, that's not that big then. If you talk about, like, something that's holding up the earth.
Big.
But zoom out, like, to what these people are thinking, something's holding up the earth. They don't know the ocean ends in some cases.
Right, yeah,
they didn't know yet, or
right.
most of at this time, that, like, the ocean is immense for them.
Yeah.
From what I understand, again.
I mean, the ocean's unfathomable to them.
Yes. And that's what I think this goes into. Like, this fish, whale, creature, Bahamut is the same.
Right.
Is one of the same. So it is almost, what I'm trying to say is, in some cases, from what I understand, I'm getting Bahamut is almost like their ocean.
Okay.
It's like the ocean is Bahamut. It is the monster or the creature.
And we've talked about a bunch before, like giving something a figure or like a name.
Yeah.
Helps human cope with something.
Yes.
The unknown.
And I think that's one of the theories of this is, like, Bahamut is so big, so enormous. The ocean is so enormous. That's the combination, is like they're trying to make the ocean so big that they're trying to put it together.
Right. Like they're giving a name to it and makes it less fearful, maybe.
Yeah. Because imagine, like, understanding, trying to understand or fathom the size of the ocean, even if, like, at this time his cultures were traversing the ocean, thinking, like,
which they would have been.
Yeah, like, but, like, going from one, like, just going around the planet is so crazy.
That was unknown of at the time.
But, like, the idea of, like, oh, these people left to go around the planet, like, to go to the ocean, see where it ends, never came back.
Yeah.
It could be so.
Or even just like, I don't know, go like a sea.
Yeah.
For like trade. Like first people to do that was like,
Mediterranean and stuff like Dead Sea.
Yeah, let's go figure it out. Hopefully we land somewhere and we don't get killed when we go over there.
Some descriptions suggest that that if a person were to gaze upon Bahamut, they would see nothing but boundless expanse of water or sea.
I mean, yeah, like they said it, like couldn't see its full.
You can't see the end. Like, you can't see the whole thing.
Yeah, you just be like, oh, it's water.
Bahamut's body is typically depicted as fish-like with massive elongated shape akin to that of a whale or a leviathan. Its scales are described as being as large as islands, adding to the mythological and grandiose nature.
We've talked about sea creatures, monsters being the size of islands, but you're saying one of its scales.
Correct.
The doozy.
Its eyes are often likened to oceans or large bodies of water, further emphasizing its connectedness to the sea and the vastness of the sea, the ocean. Bahamut's mouth is said to be so wide that it can swallow entire ships or even fleets with one gulp. The creature's scales are usually depicted as shimmering or glowing, reflecting the light in a way that gives it an otherworldly appearance. This luminescence can symbolize its divine or mystical nature. Think about, like, they're looking out at the ocean, the sun, like that's the color of Bahamut. Again, it sounds like they're describing the ocean, but they have to put a living being, a living thing to that to understand it.
How would they ever even know it was a fish, though? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you can
who came up with that?
Right. Was it just someone, like, across the world?
Look at a whale.
If you were standing in front of this thing, you wouldn't be able to even know it was a whale or a fish. So someone just like writing like a letter saying, "Hey, I don't know, Jerry, I see this part of something." Sends it to other guy. Other guy's like, "Barry, I think I see part of an eye.
Maybe
I see part of a scale."
Or they picked up a fish. They saw a fish's shimmering body of some of the fish and said, like, "Look at that. Looks like the ocean." Or this part of the ocean looks like a scale. So therefore. Or whatever, I mean, it makes sense. Like, when you think about it, trying to, again, when I say it makes sense, like, makes sense trying to take something so vast and have to explain it as a living thing.
Yeah.
In Islamic cosmology, Bahamut plays a crucial role in the structure of the universe. This depiction incorporates both physical and symbolic elements. So this is okay. This actually makes sense now when you asked, like, what is that called? That thing, the structure that I was talking about before. This refers to it as the foundation of the world.
Yeah.
And I think that's just like a translation of a translation of a translation.
Yeah.
It's like an easy way to explain what it is. Bahamut is often depicted as supporting a giant bull named Kujata, sometimes spelled Kudor, K-U-D-R, or Kujuta, K-U-J-U-T-A, which in turn supports a massive ruby mountain. Atop the mountain rests an angel who holds the earth. This layered cosmological structure underscores Bahamut's foundational importance, the importance of the ocean to support life.
Yes.
It's another combination of how I put it together. Like, Bahamut gives life by giving food.
Yeah.
Trade, all that type of stuff.
Right.
Fiction reflects the interconnectedness of balance of all elements in the cosmos, with Bahamut at its base, symbolizing the unseen forces that uphold the universe. Bahamut's primary power lies in its immense strength and ability to support vast structures. The world as a structure.
Yeah.
Thinking about the planet not as a ball, but as a structure. Yeah. In Islamic cosmology, Bahamut's role as a foundational support for the earth symbolizes stability in the interconnectedness of all creation. Some myths also attribute mystical qualities to Bahamut, such as the ability to navigate the deepest ocean depths and control the seas.
I can understand that line of thinking, like, you know, at the time they're like, oh, this place we're living on Earth has to be so heavy. They might not understand gravity at the time. Like, it has to be so heavy. Like, something has to be holding this whole thing up.
The
like,
angel,
yeah, all the way out there, like something's holding us up. They see the ocean or see like a vast desert, like you said, the incomprehensible, being unable to comprehend the size of the planet or what they're even seeing, because like people haven't seen the whole planet, but like what they're seeing, like something this has to be so heavy of a thing, the vast of a thing, something has to be holding it up.
Right, because you figure they probably live in structures that the roof has to be held up. Then
right.
What's holding up the planet?
Yeah.
Like, what's holding up the land we're standing on?
Right.
Because they understand it as like, they don't understand gravity or the round, like how Earth is structured. But also, if you think about like the bull, the fish, things that keep them alive, the structure of their world.
Right.
Like, that's how they eat. And
yeah. I don't know what the ruby, though. That's kind of, precious gem in that region or these regions, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know about that
play a role
one.
into that.
I'm sure we can look that one up.
Yeah, why not jade or sapphire?
Well, in some of the interpretations, like there's some parts it's not a ruby. It's
right, but I think it's probably a regional thing. Like,
Bahamut is sometimes portrayed as the guardian of the sea, overseeing marine life and the ocean's health. This role aligns with the depiction as a massive, all-encompassing presence in water. That's the other thing that it does. It kind of regulates the oceans, looks after the marine life. Like, don't anger Bahamut.
Yeah,
he may swim away. That type of thing.
They'll drain the ocean.
It's thought to, the symbolism, the interpretation represents the mysteries and depths of the ocean, the foundation of the earth, and the awe-inspiring power of nature. Again, whenever, we have storms, we have earthquakes, like anytime there's some kind of natural phenomenon happening, they're trying to put into...
Right, trying to understand it.
Yeah,
like,
it's a living thing doing that, right? There has to be something sneezing. The bull is breathing, and that's why we get the tides in and out. Because the bull is sucking the water in, spitting the water out.
Right.
In this tradition, Bahamut's role is supporting the earth underscores the idea of a carefully balanced and interconnected universe. Some interpretations suggest that Bahamut exists in the deepest ocean depths, symbolizing the mysteries, the unknown aspects of the natural world, and the divine. Its hidden nature reinforces its role as a guardian of the secrets and reputation of the unfathomable, to protect the earth, control what's here, or to allow us to live. To I guess what they're trying, what I trying to understand here, or what I was understanding here, is that Bahamut is its role as a guardian also allows us humans to live, because it's giving, it's allowing us to eat of the ocean and stuff.
Yeah.
Bahamut is often compared to other mythological beings like the Leviathan and Behemoth from Judeo-Christian traditions. And there's also stories about the Leviathan corrupting Bahamut, some stories.
Oh, all right.
and created Behemoth. Like there's a lot of things like that I'm not sure to share because there's so many stories, so many different things. These creatures share similar traits such as immense size and power and often play foundational roles in respective mythologies. We're going to talk about Leviathan and some other stories, so I'm not going to go into that right now. Bahamut is connection to these beings highlights its significance in the broader context of the world mythology. Bahamut appears in several classical texts, most notably the Book of Imaginary Beings by George Louis Borges. Borges described Bahamut as an enormous fish supporting the earth, drawing from various Islamic, pre-Islamic sources. This depiction highlights the creature's significance to world mythology. The Book of Imaginary Beings, again by Borges, provides a detailed account of Bahamut and combining elements from different traditions. His portrayal emphasizes Bahamut's immense size and foundational role in the cosmology, reinforcing its status as a mythological or mythical cornerstone. Despite the similarities that we just went over with the world serpent, Leviathan, Behemoth, Bahamut also unique aspects that set it apart. Its role in supporting the earth is a distinct feature in Islamic cosmology, emphasizing the creature of foundational importance. Additionally, Bahamut's depiction as an unfathomable vast fish or whale adds to a unique element of its mythology, differing from other sea creatures, so that it's just insanely big.
Large, yeah.
So even if other cultures are talking about their sea creatures, Bahamut's like, no, he's bigger. He's more powerful. He holds them in one scale, type of thing. Like no matter how big other cultures, sea creatures could be, Bahamut is the biggest in this.
Quite the way to cap off the summer sea monsters.
Yeah, go with big.
Yeah,
go big, then go
granddaddy
home.
of them all.
Yeah.
I still have a hard time wrapping my head around the visual of,
That's how I did. I've been saying that.
I know, but it's just like, why? It's again, obviously it's abstract, but like,
open your eyes, Jordan.
So Bahamut represents water. Then there's the bull. There's the rock. And there's like the angel holding up earth.
Foundation of the world is what they call it, I think.
But yeah, I have a hard time wrapping my head around that. So, like,
the imagery?
Yeah, or just like what that would mean. Like, I think symbolically, maybe, obviously, the Bahamut represents the ocean or water. The bull crunch represent like animals on the earth. The rock, I don't know, really, not really. The ruby, and it varies. Maybe those are like mountains, and angel, I don't know.
Well, it's humanity, I would imagine.
Maybe.
Or the
And then the angel, or he or she's holding the earth, but I know it's not the earth that we know it, but like that's land, like the dirt. Whether these are all like parts of, I don't know.
Yeah, I think
I have a hard time. It's like, why would the water be all the way down here and the earth be all the way up here? And like, it's just weird. It's like that being not of that time, obviously, and that thinking. So here's a disadvantage because like now we understand how, the earth is a globe and like there's water and there's land, but like there's land underneath the water too. I don't know. It's weird.
Some of the research also talks about how that Bahamut is derived from biblical behemoth and Leviathan, and behemoth in the biblical sense, the biblical book of Job specifically, is a form of chaos that's created by God at the beginning of creation.
Yeah.
So
I think I saw that with the Leviathan too.
Yeah, and I think that the idea is here that would become the food for humanity, kind of that thing that they eventually they're in the creation, but then they're there to like support humanity.
Yeah.
So I think it's really interesting how this like whole thing is like they're not talking about a planet though; they're talking about the Earth.
Right? Yeah, because they don't understand. Yeah, that does. I'm saying like me being knowing of planets.
Right, they kind
very
of
minimal.
poison us on it, like how there's actually stuff out there because we see it.
Right.
But these people from this time didn't know that.
Exactly.
There wasn't satellites.
Yeah.
And I mean, they probably had ideas about. I mean, there was still at this time astronomy.
Yeah, there was astronomy. Yes. Yeah.
But like the concept of what the Earth actually is probably wasn't as easy to see. Because you say like, "Hey, the Earth's a big ball," and you're like, "Go to hell."
Yeah. Like look that way. Does that look like
Yeah.
a ball? It's all
Yeah,
flat.
like it's flat. What are you doing? What
Yeah.
are you talking about? I'm not falling like over.
Yeah.
You know, to know that like the concept of us, you know, in us in the Western world in the United States, we're on the side of a ball.
Yeah,
Why am
yeah,
I
right.
falling down right now? Like that concept is so hard to understand for most from throughout all of history. And then you realize like, oh, this thing called gravity, and that's why we can do the things we do, and blah blah blah. So here's another summary. This comes from that Edward Lane, which I talked about. He wrote a book called Arabian Society in the Middle Ages. This is from 1883. Explains that the name of the bull created by God to hold up a rock of ruby on which stood an earth propping angel. God created the angel, rock, and then the bull in that order according to the source. Then the giant fish called Bahamut sustained the bull underneath. Before this, the earth was oscillating in a wayward directions, and all these layers of support were needed to achieve stability.
I figured it would be the other way around. Like fish, bull, rock, then angel.
Yeah.
Right. What do I know?
Well, you know nothing.
I don't know how to build anything anyway, so.
I just don't understand what the ruby's for.
Yeah,
I'm sure there is an answer. Okay, wait.
But I'm assuming. Like
Wait, I got it.
Okay. I'm assuming because the ruby has something to do with that particular region. Like it's a precious gemstone in that region. Like other. This is a kind of common theme through other regions around this time. But they might not have had a ruby. It might just been just a regular rock or some other kind of gemstone. That's my guess.
Okay, so the ruby was specifically from Edward Lane's description. Lane said it was a ruby, but the Arabic word used in the original sources, which I'm not going to pronounce, is ambiguous. So, and that was research done in 2013 by Narina Rastomaji.
When was that Edward Lane doing this stuff?
1883.
Okay. And
he was a Western person too. I think he was maybe from England or like
okay.
Kingdom.
Can't trust his lanes.
Yeah. Many of the Islamic sources have specifically indicated a rock or green gem made of it was a green rock, given the green emerald, that type of thing. God created the angel rock, then bull in that order. They said the order they arranged one on top of the other according to this research. However, other sources, God created in order the angel, then the bull, so that the angel could stand on the bull's hump. But this was unstable. God inserted the rock platform above the bull's hump. These sources also may have also said that God also inserted a sandhill between the great bull and the great fish.
That would make sense too for the region.
Yeah. And the bull controls the tides when it breathes.
The interesting thing with all these things that we've been doing for the summer of sea monsters, it's people are attributing things that they know, like animals and their environment, into understandings of like how the world works.
Yeah.
Like fish, bulls, sand. In like Arabic world at this time was vast. It's not all just deserts and all like sea stuff. There's like all kinds of stuff in between. But like you said, this is being pulled from multiple different pre-Islamic Arabic cultures
Tribes.
who are partly, part of all different kind of ecosystems.
Yeah.
So they're like pulling in sand, maybe mountains, maybe the sea and stuff like that. So that it's kind of neat. It's all kind of being, like you said, it's an amalgamation of all these different areas and people.
Well, I want you to hang on to your socks. I'm about to blow them.
Hang on to your butts. All right.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I just stumbled upon this thing right here. So thinking about how the bull controls the tides. The bull and the fish were considered responsible for drinking the water that tapped off the land from the sea, maintaining the base level of the ocean's water. So they're the one that drank water.
Rivers?
They drank the water, so it lowered the sea so that people can live on land.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And then, however, once their bellies are full, they will become agitated. And that is a sign of Judgment Day.
There you go. Another kind of somewhat like similar to like, Noah.
Yeah, another flood theory.
And then there's been quite a few of those we talked about. You brought some of those up before.
I did?
Yeah.
Cool. You're welcome, world.
Yeah, but it's one of those things that's kind of a common theme. Like some god or some kind of event happens that like a judgment happens, the world gets flooded, and man kind of has to start over. There's something like that. Like at least in
every culture has some kind of flood story.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right. You want to go to some theories?
Do it.
Okay.
So
I guess you don't.
I was gonna do originally do Tiamat, which is a Mesopotamian East African goddess that along with her consort, I can't remember his name, it starts with an A, but she was a freshwater, she was a seawater, he was a freshwater. When they mated, they kind of created all these other deities that in turn created like the earth. I was like, there's no really like mystery here. Like it's what I read was like super awesome as far as a creation story is concerned, but like people are out there being like, oh, Tiamat, I saw Tiamat the other day when I was swimming or bathing in the water.
And people aren't seeing Bahamut either.
Right.
Like it's not like a monster's coming to kill you.
Sure.
So, but I think the idea of like a sea monster, like it is the sea.
Right.
And you can anger it.
Yes, that is true.
And that could be, and it could bring Judgment Day.
So,
if his belly gets full.
Yeah. With Tiamat, I think she eventually got killed. So I was like, oh, there goes that story. But
kill a Kraken.
Yeah, but I know, but like people were seeing this thing, and I don't think everyone was just like, I saw Tiamat. It did die. No, I don't think ever thought they could kill a Kraken, but this thing is fascinating because
they've covered it up. They don't want you to know they killed a Tiamat. They want you to think there wasn't a Tiamat. But I think what's interesting.
But this is cool because this thing is like the biggest freaking sea monster ever. So
it is the sea
monster. Right. Well, yeah, it is. It's the sea
monster.
Yeah.
And this just popped into my head here because since when I said he goes in to say that, or some of the research is that it brings on Judgment Day when its belly gets full.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'm sorry, going back to the putting the rock, like God put the rock, inserted the different things to keep it, inserted all these things.
Keep it stable.
Because of chaos. So it goes back to the behemoth theory, putting as God put these things in to stop to make everything kind of even.
Yeah.
You know, to make chaos, to stop the chaos.
The foundation, it's like it's stability.
Right.
Yeah.
To bring about stability.
Order.
And so like that's how the theory, or that kind of goes into the theory that before that, the earth was in chaos. Like when you think about the creation of the earth.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah.
All right.
Like
okay.
the earth was crazy. It wasn't normalized or whatever, or had a constant so that humans couldn't survive.
Okay.
By God, you know, it goes back to like
makes sense.
Even going into like thinking about it like as a geological standpoint, like how the earth was formed and the chaos that happened, like fire and you know the volcanoes and then it kind of cold and everything.
Right. Did you happen to see? And again, I know this is like multiple societies, and again, it's polytheistic, so there's a lot of like assimilation through cultures and religion. And you happen to see like, is there what their like Zeus would be, or what their I don't know. I don't know if it's, but again, it doesn't seem like this is a uniform religion. I know of like Norse mythology and like Greco-Roman.
Yes,
I
have an answer to that.
Places had different deities. Some like they're kind of the same for the most part, but like, who is this God that put all this foundation together? Or was there a God that did that?
Yes, they had Allah. Allah was already recognized as the supreme deity, the creator God.
This is before?
Even in pre-Islamic times. However, Allah was often seen as a distant God with more immediate worship directed towards other deities, such as Al-Lat, which is a mother goddess associated with fertility and prosperity. A-L-L-A-L-L-A-T was worshipped by various tribes, especially in the city of Tif, T-A-I-F, Taif. Al-Uzza, associated with power and protection.
Oh wow!
Was revered as a warrior goddess, in particular venerated by tribe in Mecca.
Okay.
And then Manat Manat, the goddess of fate and destiny, worshipped along the Red Sea coast, invoked for protection during travel.
There's always like similarities with like the Norse ones, Greek and Roman ones, and like everywhere in the world. Like there's a goddess of
those are the main deities, and they are collectively known as the daughters of Allah.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and they were central to the religious practices in cities like Mecca.
That's I never knew anything about that.
I think it's super interesting. Like there's an entire mythology, like we talked about in the last episode about like China and Japan, like these other things before modern or even recorded history.
Yeah.
And ancient history. All right, let's go into some of these kind of, when we talk about theories here, we're talking about like how, maybe even how people came up, like thought of this.
The idea that, and I keep saying it's like, my modern brain, I can't wrap myself around the idea of this. Not saying like by no means I'm saying this stupid. I'm saying like being a person of modern times.
Hard to go back and not see the Earth as a
sure,
planet.
Of course, yeah.
It's floating in space.
As a human being right now.
Gravity.
Of course, yeah.
Going around the sun.
Yeah. By no means am I saying this is looking down upon this. I'm just like, I'm fascinated by this actually.
Yeah. It made me want to like look more into like all these types of like pre-Islamic, then like go into China and see like their thoughts, their deities, their mythologies. Yeah. Yep. So let's go into like some of these theories. So one of the things we'll talk about here is the idea of a symbolic representation of the unknown. Again, we talked about this many times in all these episodes. In Summer of Sea Monsters, one prevalent theory suggests that Bahamut represents the unfathomable depths and mystery of the ocean. Ancient times, sea was vast, unexplored, inspire both awe and fear. Bahamut, as an immense sea creature, embodies the sense of unknown, powerful forces lurking beneath the waves. I mean, think about it, like, you couldn't even look under the water for the most part. Like, it's not like they were sending boats and things, I mean, submarines and stuff down. They don't know what's down there.
Yeah.
Like, the ocean may not end in their view.
Right.
We know, we barely know that.
Like, they could get the one guy in the town who can go down and swim as far down as he could before he, lost his breath.
Or died. Yeah.
It's your turn today, Jeff.
Or they dropped like a weight down there with as much rope as they had.
Yeah.
And it stopped going down, but depending on what they were.
Yeah.
I mean, there's also the representation, the symbolic representation of the foundation of the world, which we went over. Islamic cosmology, Bahamut's rule as a foundation support of the earth, symbolizes stability and interconnectedness of creation. We went over that a few times. This theory posits that Bahamut's immense size and strength reflect the idea of a carefully balanced universe where even the most powerful and incomprehensible entities play a crucial role in maintaining cosmic order. So even though this thing is the ocean, it still allows order.
Right.
It's still controlled by God, I think it's what they're trying to say there.
Because the ocean, I feel like there is no order at the ocean.
And we've seen a lot of these stories.
Yeah.
That's not,
okay.
That's
what it does.
We're going to go on to another idea of another part of this, another category is the integration of pre-Islamic beliefs into Islamic cosmology. Bahamut is believed to have evolved from pre-Islamic Arabian myths about giant sea creatures. But when Islam spread across the Arabian Peninsula, the existing myths were incorporated into Islamic cosmology, often reinterpreted to fit new religious frameworks. This theory highlights how Bahamut's mythology bridges the gap between pre-Islamic folklore and Islamic beliefs.
Yeah, this is something that happens in every religion.
Yeah.
It's assimilated, tweaked a little bit. Because you don't want to lose everybody when you do it. You want to like kind of keep, like, hey, we got some kind of similarities.
And you want to make them feel safe. Like, you want to like make them want to follow it.
You don't want to just completely
cut it off. Yeah.
Some religions have done, but you want to like, feel somewhat similar enough.
Yeah.
You get on board with
Christmas.
Yes.
Like in our case, we can just think of how Christmas came about.
Right.
Another category is the comparative mythology and cross-cultural influences. There was something we'll call shared archetypes. Comparative mythology reveals that many cultures have legends of giant sea creatures, such as Leviathan, the world serpent. These similarities suggest a shared archetype across different cultures, representing the ocean's power and mystery. This theory, though, posits that Bahamut is part of a broader mythological motif reflecting universal human experiences and fears.
Yep.
So, again, fear of the ocean, fear of the
Yeah.
unknown, fear of God, that type of thing, misunderstanding of how the world actually works in some cases. Another theory emphasized that the role of trade and cultural exchange in the development of Bahamut's myth. Ancient Arabian merchants and travelers would have encountered various mythologies and incorporated elements from them into their own stories. This exchange of ideas contributed to the rich tapestry of Bahamut's mythology being blended influences from different religions and traditions. So this kind of is, we'll say that another reason why I wanted to go over theories is how the Bahamut theory became a part of this culture.
Okay.
Like, how did they actually come up with the idea of a fish?
Yeah.
That's holding up the world.
Right.
It's not like some guy was like, hey, there's probably a fish down there. Like, and this is a good example of it. Like, they're trading with other cultures and they're kind of hearing what they worship, seeing what they worship, bringing it back. I mean, like, these people over here worship this. They believe this. You're like, oh, that's really interesting.
Yeah, these guys got a whale.
Yeah.
They've got a fish. We got a stupid trout.
You see this like giant serpent. It's a whale. Serpents are stupid. It's a whale. You're like, oh, yeah, it makes more sense. Ours is bigger.
Right. We're the biggest whale.
Yeah, there's nothing big. Literally nothing can be bigger than ours. That's like where you're like, okay.
Upmanship.
Yeah, it's never always been a part of human history.
Yep.
Humans want to one up each other. Like, you one up me with that shirt. I'm sitting up here with this black shirt. You got this thing with put it on cool and everything.
Put it on real cool.
Yeah.
You need to button it up.
Yeah, you didn't even button your shirt. You're like, these buttons are dumb.
I don't have time for that.
Yeah. Some scholars propose that Bahamut serves as a metaphor or allegory in philosophical, there we go, and literary contexts. Its depiction as a creature beyond human comprehension can symbolize the limits of human knowledge and the divine mysteries of creation. And that goes back to what you thought of. You said, when we talked about many times, you brought this up, that humans have to put a living thing to something that they don't understand. Right. In this view, Bahamut is not just a mythological creature, but a literary device used to explore the deeper existential and cosmological questions of humanity.
That's deep.
Yep. They call me
Mr. Deep.
Yep. Chris Deep.
Chris Deep.
Okay. Another category is religious and theological perspectives. In Islamic theology, Bahamut can be interpreted as a manifestation of divine power and the wonders of God's creation. Its inclusion in Islamic cosmology underscores the idea of meticulous ordered universe designed by a higher power. This theory views Bahamut not just as a mythological creature, but as a testament to the divine wisdom and majesty. Another category is a natural phenomena, such as some theories suggest that Bahamut's myth may have been inspired by real-life encounters with large sea creatures such as whales, giant squids, or otherwise, which were often misinterpreted or exaggerated in ancient times. These natural phenomena could have contributed to the creation of a mythological figure embodying the awe and fear inspired by the ocean's vastness and the creatures within it. Yeah. You see a whale, as we went over before.
Right.
Sea creatures are scary.
I saw
drain that.
Yeah. I saw a video recently.
Were you draining the ocean? We're going to drain that ocean.
Actually, yeah, it was after we did the Kraken one. There's a guy, he's in the ocean or sea, I don't know. But he's on a paddleboard, but he's not standing on it. He's like sitting on it like a horse, so he's sitting on it and his feet are dangling off.
Never. I would never do it. Nope.
And it's on video where a dead squid comes up. It's pretty big. His feet touch it. He doesn't see it happening, but his feet touch it. Can you imagine that?
No. I'd cut my arm off. I cut my feet. I would drown myself. That's horrifying. I wouldn't be out there.
But like we had talked about in the Kraken one where...
I'd be out there if it's drained.
We talked about in the Kraken one where like maybe these sailors are seeing washed up creatures they've never seen before. Or even just creatures they've never seen before. And like they start, the mind gets better to them. So yeah, again with this. Giant squid, whale.
Yeah. I mean, seeing a whale?
Especially how big they get, man. Holy crap.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how close they get to how close giant whales, like blue whales, stuff get to that. But like, if they have people are, trading and traveling on the ocean, they may see even bigger whales, especially if you see it off in the distance.
I mean, they wash up on shore, dead ones.
Ooh, no, daddy. Oh, especially, I guess, like, especially back in the time we're talking,
Mhm.
there's a lot of whales.
Yeah.
They weren't like,
Yeah, they were being hunted yet.
And then my last theory is
Aliens.
the alien theory. Like I said before, we are just an atom, that type of thing. No, the symbol of sovereignty and power. In some interpretations, Bahamut symbolizes the immense power and sovereignty of rulers or empires, reflecting the hierarchical structures of ancient societies. Just as Bahamut supports the earth, rulers were seen as a foundational pillar supporting the domains, maintaining order and stability.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, again, personifying something that's holding up the world.
These all sound pretty legit.
So where do you think this theory, where do you think this story came from? The idea of where do you think the idea of like coming up with like, hey, it's a fish, the giant fish that's holding up this, it's holding up that.
The idea of it, like these levels of foundation,
the foundations of
crazy.
The world. Like, and especially the Bahamuts being the bottom.
The center, like the
Which makes sense when you, interpretation of it being like the ocean, like the most important thing.
Right. I'm going with what I said earlier as far as like these are each level that's are symbolic of some sort of natural thing that these people are constantly, they're not constantly, but like part of their ecosystem. So you have the water being Bahamut, the bull represent like food on earth. Maybe then like the ruby thing that was weird, like it's a precious gemstone maybe in that particular region, or like when you said one other region might be an emerald.
Yeah, I think in general it might have been a misinterpretation of it being a ruby.
You're right.
It could
be like a mountain,
right? Like
perhaps
the earth in general, the rocks that are on the earth,
right? And then the angel, I'm not so sure about. Maybe it's something angelic. An angel, of course, is angelic, but as far as like more spiritual, maybe. Then the angel's holding the earth, but like you said, it's not our earth. It's not like a
planet,
spherical thing. It's makes you be the ground itself,
just
like the earth, actual earth.
Yeah,
like the ground. It's all, I think it's either way. It's all just symbolism, but then all the theories you ran off all make sense. You all can be interpreted that way. Like,
especially if you bring in the idea of that leadership at the time, and
which I never would have thought of that. Like the how pivotal or important of a role the leader is, the foundation of society.
Yeah, especially when you talk about like villages, or like these kind of smaller groupings.
Right, they're kind of independent, not necessarily independent, but like kind of on their own. They're not like this vast empire.
Right, and they're like what the leader of that village is probably his word is.
Yes, yeah.
He's helping them survive. Right, along with them too.
I think it's the coolest thing though too, because I never even seen this before. I never heard of this. Well, I've heard of Bahamut because of the Final Fantasy games, but I didn't know that it was seen as that being that big, that massive of a thing. That like this is the entire ocean.
It's kind of
thing. But I like that they like people are just like, even now when we like there's things we can't comprehend as human beings, of course, but like the vastness of space, like that just blows my mind. But like I like that the idea of them, the vastness of the world or the ocean, are just like, that's something that man was even thinking about back then. I think it's kind of neat.
Yeah.
They're trying to like find a way to visualize it, symbolize it. They can somewhat wrap their heads around it.
Because they have to understand it.
Yeah. But even still, they can't, because it's so big, you can't see the whole entire whale or fish itself, I think.
Yeah, in one person's view.
They even knew that back then. They're just like, we can't comprehend this. We can't.
We look this way and there's ocean. We look that way and there's ocean. We look that way, there's ocean. Yeah. And there's land behind us.
I like even back then, they're just like smart enough to like know or have that curiosity or wherewithal to be like, the question would be like, we can't possibly comprehend this.
Goes back to like that, what's that philosophy thing is I think I know, therefore I am, or something.
I think therefore I am, yeah.
Yeah. But I think this relates directly to how we as humans think of universe.
Mm-hmm.
I brought that up earlier.
Yeah. Their role in the universe.
What we can't even comprehend the universe,
Yeah.
like to see it because we can't. It's too vast. Eventually, someday they will probably be able to see it. Maybe humans.
Yeah.
Or some type of weird offshoot of humans.
Yeah. Well,
but we right now cannot understand even fathom the vastness of the universe.
Right. And that's what that whole
same thing.
Descartes, the philosopher, is he's like trying to comprehend what God is, explain God exists, but he's like kind of a futile kind of thing. Like, I can't understand God in the Judeo-Christian sense. Like, you can't understand something that all powerful, all ever present, all's out there. So it's kind of same like the ocean. Like, how can you possibly, or the universe, how can you possibly try to like fathom that? But like, all I know is I could exist.
So we can,
therefore I can.
And we say, like, from when I brought up, like I was trying to mention before, the universe could be an atom.
Yeah.
And that's how we can interpret it. You don't know.
Yeah. Or I know we brought this up before too, the Men in Black thing at the end of, I think it's the first Men in Black. Like, we're all just
in marble.
There's aliens just
playing a marble game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like our entire galaxies in that.
Yeah. I think it's very, very neat that like this one society is just like, hey, they thought of this massive freaking fish.
Multiple societies too. They came together to interpret it.
But again, there's, like you said, there's different interpretations.
Built on hundreds of years. I
think it's super neat.
Of years.
People are just like, yeah, for this.
The ocean is a giant fish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which would make sense because, they're the fish. They're in the ocean.
Right. And they can't see it any other way.
Right.
It shimmers like the fish do.
Yeah, that's what they know.
Well, we got there. The last story in the Summer of Sea Monsters, Jordan.
Will we ever do it again? I don't know.
I am sunburnt from the sea monsters.
I got scurvy from all this.
I thank you for being here. Thank you for participating.
Are you talking to me or talking about the people?
You.
Oh, thanks. Thank you.
Thanks
for coming up with this.
Yeah.
It was a good idea. I like it. It was fun. It was neat.
Like monsters.
Yeah.
Sea's fine. It's summer, so I figured. Like I say, I'm just trying to bring more eyes and ears to the idea of let's drain the ocean. Let's get rid of it.
Let's get rid of it.
It sucks.
It's
so scary.
We gotta get people on board with us on this.
It's so scary out there. Think of all the crap we'd find. Think how much gold we'd find. It's great.
I think the only drawback with that is how are we gonna, get things to and from one place with no ocean or planes, maybe.
Yeah. You ever hear of a plane? You ever have a car? I don't know. You got
I guess
car?
because we could just drive.
Yeah. You ever heard of that?
Yeah.
Here's what we do. Drain the ocean. Start building gas stations. We'll be the king.
Start building gas stations.
Be like crossing like the Mojave. Yeah. Well, that probably suck.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Some big trenches.
Yeah.
Good. Just go around them. Go around the trenches.
Build a bridge.
Yeah. Build a
Start
bridge.
a construction company
There you
too.
go.
We're gonna be so rich. We're going to be so rich. Gas and bridges, infrastructure. Yeah. We can bring infrastructure to the world. Really connect it.
Probably find a bunch of dinosaurs down there to get some of that fossil fuel, maybe.
Out of the ocean?
Yeah, sure. There's dinosaurs down there, right? There were dinosaurs there.
You know what's poop is down there?
It's probably all gone at this point. Maybe can things I don't think I think it's an issue. Things can't really fossilize in the ocean. Is that a thing? Is that real?
Well, they probably were fossilized before the ocean got there. Right? Because like the ocean wasn't always where the ocean is.
Right. Yeah. But if it's in the ocean, can something properly fossilize in the ocean?
Well, I mean, I don't know how this formed, but you have like, you see those indentations of like sea animals that like rock. Right. So maybe something like that, rather than rock. I don't know. Maybe. Hey, I'm not a dinosaurologist, whatever they call them. Fossilologist.
Well, the dinosaurs are never real, so I don't understand what the discussion's about.
Yeah, why aren't they everywhere? I remember when I was growing up, I was like, go on dig in the back. There are probably
dinosaurs back there.
And you're like, let's just go dig.
Yeah.
And then you're like, wow, digging sucks.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah. I remember one time, this is probably explains a lot of my life. Me and my friend were trying to dig a fort, like dig a pit.
Dig a fort?
Trying to dig a pit and we're going to build stuff over it.
Okay.
We may have been also trying to catch our one friend by digging a big hole and then putting like leaves over it or something, like a pit.
Yeah.
Somewhere in the woods. And then you're like, so I remember us going down a big hill and he's like, hey, catch, like, hand me that shovel. And he throws it and it hits me right in the head.
Oh, geez.
And like I had this big like egg in my head and I remember not really crying or anything.
Did it cut you or just?
Yeah. But I remember like I think I was like middle school, maybe like early middle school. Like I was probably 5th grade, maybe. I remember like I didn't cry or anything, but I was like, I remember getting hit, and that's all. Like it's very ingrained in my brain, something hitting me in the head, and then like everything else after that's all foggy. A couple years.
For a couple of years.
And like, I remember going like home. My mom was like, my grandma at the time was like, "What the hell happened?" I'm like, "I got hit with a shovel." They're like, and we never did catch that other guy.
Down.
We didn't really catch that other guy. Catch our friend.
Yeah. I got hit in there with a golf club once.
Like I got hit with a bat when I was a catcher, and that's why I don't play baseball. I didn't have a mask on. And I was like walking to get my mask. I'm good, and some kids like.
You probably have had multiple concussions.
Oh yeah, 'cause I played. I played like sports and stuff too.
You're like, oh yeah, wait, where am I?
Yeah,
huh?
Yeah. I mean, especially because like they didn't really care about concussions back then. They were like, "Nah, it's cool. Go lay down."
No, walk it off, lay down.
Yeah.
Rub some dirt on it.
Yeah, I mean, like, so I used to do bike jumps. It's like I just like my neighborhood and I'd crash my bike, and helmets weren't really a thing. Like people were like,
they were, but like don't wear them, nerd.
I don't remember like even having a helmet until like
I never had
later in life. Like when I got a little older. But again, it's all a little foggy, so maybe just maybe think of something else. Like it may all be crazy. Anyway, thank you for being here, Jordan. Again,
thank you, Chris.
Thank you everybody out there for listening or watching or whatever. Please help us out by following us on any social media. Give us a follow. Give us a like. Give us a subscribe. Send us an email if you have any ideas for episodes. If you have any information that we may have gotten wrong, we'd love corrections. That'd be awesome. Especially with, talking about so many different cultures and everything and not pronouncing stuff correctly.
A lot of corrections.
Yeah. We would love to hear all of it, see all of it, whatever. And head on over to mysteriouspals.com if you want to find all the links to everything. All of our resources are in the show notes. They're also on mysteriouspals.com website. And I also want to point out that we always forget to mention this. The music was by Bethlehem.
Yep.
Links in the show notes, links on the website. Great band. They have a new album coming out sometime in the near future, I think, from what I understand.
They're working on it.
But we would like to thank them,
sweet time.
Point it out, and tell you to go find that link. Go listen to them on Bandcamp or whatever. I think they use Bandcamp.
Yeah.
Buy their music, listen to it.
Well, hold on real quick. I tagged them in one of our posts. I'm like, yeah, you probably shouldn't do that.
Who said who?
One of the band members, or maybe
Why?
I was like, wait, do you not want us using your stuff? They're like, no, I actually probably hurt you for using, like, tagging them in it. And I was like, I don't understand how social media. Because, like, obviously we have them in our opening for this.
Yeah. We have their connection.
Yeah.
We have all their stuff in the notes and everything.
Yeah. Then we'll do like the weekly post saying, hey, this episode's out, or like I'll do like one of those weird history facts. I'm like, I'll use one of their songs. It's like try to find a song that's appropriate for whatever. Like, yeah, don't use us.
They don't want us to.
I don't think they.
We're still doing it.
They're like you might hurt your reach. I'm like, I don't know.
Brand?
I don't know.
We don't have a brand.
Reach.
Our reach.
For like other people. Like, I don't know. I think they're just messing around.
I don't think they know what they're talking about. Those old guys in social media, they don't understand
Bunch of knuckleheads.
Yeah, the little silly billies. Anyway, I'm gonna give him a noogie.
We're gonna keep using it though.
I'm gonna give him a noogie next time I see him too. I'm gonna drive it right in there.
All of them.
Noogies, another thing. What's up with that?
Do people still even like?
No, I punch them in the face if they do.
My dad used to jokingly do that to me, and I was like, "Who do people actually do this?" I remember seeing the movies like
in the 50s and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna give you a noogie.
Yeah.
Noogies, like, is it just because you're rubbing your fist in their head?
I think so.
I'm just kind of like, you're messing up my hair, bro. Maybe you're not doing it right.
That's my hair, bro.
Like, I don't really care.
But I think it's supposed to be like a
hurt. Does it hurt? I'm like, like I have uncles and stuff that did it. I'm like, I don't know. I'll give you one after the show.
Messing my hair, bro.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, everybody. Thank you again. Tune in next time to the Mysterious Pals. Next week we'll be back with a not Summer of Sea Monsters episode. Yeah. So we'll find something new. We have some things in the works. Probably get back to true crime. I think people like that crap. Scary for me.
People like that crap. Yeah, apparently people like that crap.
People like that crap. It's scary and sad. But we should probably get back to that at some point. Some mysteries there.
Maybe like the Fall of Frights. All of them.
Let's not get into naming stuff. It seems like a lot of work. Kind of shoehorns us into. Last couple of weeks have been weird.
Yeah. Autumn of anuses, maybe.
I don't. This is why they don't want us to use their song anymore.
Yeah.
All right.
It's not.
Hey, thank you, Jordan. Again, thank you,
Thanks,
everybody
Chris.
out there.
Thanks for coming up with those ideas. It's been cool.
Yeah, go to hell. See you next time, Mysterious Pals. Same place, same time. We love you. Stay mysterious.
Bye.